The hell's going on, Americans? Jericho Green here with you once again, and I haven't been able to get the figures yet. It doesn't tell you for like 12 hours or something like that. But as I said yesterday in my video, all the proceeds, all the merch I sold yesterday, the money is going to go to the families of the victims of the Gilroy Garlic Festival shooting. So thank you to everybody who bought merch yesterday and for doing your part. I thank you very much. And about last night, man, they whooped Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare's ass last night. Shit. Should I have called the police? Because I witnessed an assault. They got in that ass like a bike with no seat. Damn. Now, last time, she got it at Bidenus Pervertus pretty bad, calling him a racist, which, I mean, honestly, I think is unfounded, and I really don't give a shit, but sometimes you got to reach across the aisle to get shit done. That's all he was saying, but of course, it's the thing now. Got to pull that race card, that magnetic strip starting to get worn out because it's being used quite a lot. Too much. So last night was revenge. You know, after that last one, after the first debate, Miami Joe Biden walked off stage, looked at his fucking research team and said, "You better make it right." And they did. They fucked Kamala up last night, and rightfully so. Because she was a prosecutor. She was the attorney general for the state of California. And Tulsi Gabbard, who I think was the best one last night, I agree with a lot of the things she said, but then, you know, she's into the whole climate change and racial inequality and all that bullshit. A lot of lies going on last night. But as far as pulling our troops out of Afghanistan, using that $4 billion a month we spend on that, you know, using it for other things within our borders, I agree with that. Calling Trump fucking a supporter of Al-Qaeda, I don't agree with that. Get real. How long have we had a relationship, quote unquote, with Saudi Arabia? Way before Trump. In a perfect world, yeah, pull all of our troops home, fuck that part of the world, let them do what they're gonna do. But that's not the reality. We can't just pull everybody out of there, unfortunately. But her and some of the other candidates said that within their first year, they would pull all of the almost 15,000 troops back, bring them home from Afghanistan. That I agree with. But as far as telling me you're going to come up with some Green New Deal bullshit and take more of my money, no. But yeah, they were fucking Kamala up. Gabbard, she was leading the charge, saying that during your reign as Attorney General in California, you put 1,500 people in jail for marijuana. Then you laugh about smoking bud and listening to Tupac in 1985 or whatever the fuck you said. A little, smell that? Smells like hypocrisy. And she said also 1,000 people were released because of faulty DNA evidence that she didn't want reintroduced because she knew that would leave a black eye on her record as Attorney General. So only when she was forced to by a judge did she say, okay, yeah, let's reintroduce it. And a whole shitload of people were freed. And there was a little mishap, a little hiccup with some of the tech she used at the drug labs to test the drugs that were confiscated from alleged criminals. Turns out they weren't testing the drugs properly, and one of the fucking techs was using the drugs. That's not what they meant when they said test the drugs, dummy. They meant use a chemistry set, not your nose. So there's all kinds of skeletons in her closet as a prosecutor, and all she could say, they'd have it split screen. Gabbard will be digging up in that ass, and Kamala's on the other side of the screen. You see her going, no, not true, not true. So obvious that it is true that you were a piece of shit when you were a prosecutor. And all she can say as response was, that is untrue. That is false. When I was prosecutor, I did the work. I'm proud of my work. I did the work. Let me make this clear. I did the work. I'm proud of my work. Shut the fuck up. They got you. They caught you with your pants down. Gabbard was Toto. She went over and pulled the curtain back to see the man working all the controls. You got exposed, Kamala. You ain't shit. You're a career politician, and you're crooked as a fucking question mark. I think Kamala really fucked up last night. She really lost some steps. because they exposed her. They made her look stupid. You didn't see that coming? You think Biden is perverted was just going to lay down and let you get him a second time? Maybe if you let him sniff your hair, he might have. But aside from that, there were a lot of lies going on. Same old shit. Oh, Kamala was talking about a gender pay gap. Oh, women make 80 cents on the dollar, and black women make 61, and Indian women, indigenous women, stop that shit, they're Indians. Indigenous women make 58%, Latina women make 50. You don't take into account the jobs they work and the hours that they put in. Men are more likely to put in more hours. Men are more likely to take more high-paying / dangerous jobs. That's why. It's illegal to pay a woman less money for equal work. Equal. Very important word. If you could pay a woman less, if you could legally pay a woman less to do the same job a man can do, who do you think would make up our fucking workforce? It would be all women. Simple business. Stop that stupid shit. Climate change and the racial inequality and they're targeting black and brown people. Shut the fuck up. And one of the funniest things, Cory Booker is an uncomfortable motherfucker. So this fool tells Joe Biden's like, well, when you were mayor, you didn't do this and that, and I was the one who tried to get the inequity between sentencing for powder cocaine and crack cocaine to be the same. And Booker was like, we have a saying in my community, Mr. Vice President, you're in the Kool-Aid and don't know the flavor. God, that shit was terrible, man. In my community. You're not part of that community. Shut the fuck up. You never had a glass of Kool-Aid. Carlton? Shut the fuck up. Oh, man, that shit was so funny. But, Tulsi Gabbard, G.I. Jane, I think she won last night. But, that's not saying much. Like I said on the last video, winning that is like winning a shit-eating contest. Yeah, you won, but you had to eat a bowl of cat shit. You know what I mean? But it was more exciting than the first one. I'll give you that. It was more exciting than the first round of the fucking B team. The Joe Kahanis and Bernie Sanders, a.k.a. George Burns. I mean, it was more exciting than that because this is obviously the front runners. Why are we even wasting our time with Kristen, their name Gildebrand, and Mayor de Blasio? His stupid ass was up there. People were giving him shit for not firing the cop who was involved in the Freddie Gray case. I mean, what the fuck is that dude doing up there? Why is he there? Let's cut the shit, man. Get rid of these people. There's like 25 of them. You don't know most of them. Get them out of there. So I think the next one is in September. So the herd should be thinned a little bit by then because there's some hurdles and hoops they got to jump over and through to get there in September. Who else was there? Andrew Yang. Man, your $1,000 a month ain't going to cut it. And another thing they were grilling Kamala on was her Medicare for all. They were talking about how much it's going to cost. And really, any of their plans are going to cost too much. Any of their plans that are put into action will cost us too much, not only monetarily, but you won't be able to be seen. If everybody is suckling from the same teat, there's not enough milk to go around. Right now, I can call my primary physician and get in there in no time. At least by the end of the day, for sure, I can get in there to see my primary. No problem. If everybody's on the same plan, if everybody's on the same, government-provided Medicare plan, how soon do you think you can get in to see your primary or anybody? But that's how they want it. They don't want you to have options. They don't want the 90+% of people in this country who already have insurance. The overwhelming majority are happy with it. But they can't leave well enough alone. They need us from titty to tomb. They want us sucking on that engorged federal tit all the way to the nursing home. That's how they keep power. They don't want personal responsibility. They don't want personal reliance. They don't want you relying on yourself and your family and your community to get through life. They need you leaning on them. That's why they want to hand out free shit to everybody. They don't care about you. They care about power. Any of those clowns up there. Same old shit, climate change. We live in a racist society. Trump's a racist. Trump. And they asked him, would you keep the tariffs that Trump has in place? Well, of course they're going to say no. Trump's doing it. It doesn't matter. If Trump cured cancer, they'd be like, well, are you going to keep Trump's cancer cure going? Are you going to keep handing it out to the masses? Of course not. We can't do that. Trump's evil. We have to get rid of that cure and have people dying from cancer again. This shit is ridiculous, man. Shit. It was hard to watch. As they all are. But please, keep it up. You are paving the way for Trump to get back in the White House. You might as well get out there, roll out the red carpet, and start throwing down rose petals like this is coming to America. And welcome him back into the White House for another 4 years. Man, let me wrap up my state-mandated meal break. One of the only good things California gives me. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.